What's up, y'all? How you doing? Today I am going to do a tag. Young, gifted, and black. I'm on it. I'm on it. Alright, this is the book dating tag. Alright, number one. What book was your first love? I was a late bloomer. I wasn't getting much book action when I was younger. Or no true book action, you know what I mean? I was getting a little touchy-feely on books. But I didn't find no real true love until I was out of school and I was researching on my own. So my first book love would be Man, Child, in the Promised Land. At the time when I picked up this book, I was questioning my gender. And I was going through this research period where I was looking up all types of coming of age stories so I can see how the average black boy lived, or the experiences that the average black boy went through. Man, Child, in the Promised Land was a fictional autobiography about this boy named Sonny who grew up in Harlem in the 40s and 50s. And it's basically his story on the streets and how he survived the streets despite everything that was going against him. By age 7, he was already stealing and fighting. He was sent to a boys' home, and it just shows all the jobs and how he grew up, and he made it. It was a success story. It was like one of the first books that I read that was urban, hood, had a lot of violence and sex in it, you know what I mean? So it was kicking. So that's why I would consider this one my first love. Number 2, a book outside my genre that I really liked. I picked The Story of More. Even though it is nonfiction, which is my jam, it's on a whole different vibe. I was watching the Springathon TBRs a while back. I had never heard of Springathon, never heard of nature writing, so I was like, I am going to read one of those books. 3 people recommended The Story of More. It is not often that I will look at a book with a tree, like a regular ass tree, and think I want to read that book. But I did. This book was about global warming and climate change. I felt like this book was a warning, telling us this is where we were, this is where we're at now, and if we keep going down this track, we're not gonna have a future. So this is what you need to do to fix it. And it was broken down into different categories. The one that really spoke to me was the food category, when she was talking about how much food we waste, how the food that we throw away could feed all types of people. And these are things that of course we already know, but they're great reminders. This is one of those books that as soon as you start reading it, it creates change in your life. Or for me, as soon as I start reading about electricity and stuff, I'm like, dang, turn off that light, you know what I'm saying? Or I wanted to throw something away, I'm like, oh, that is so wasteful. It also helped me drive better. When she was talking about how it's just like a clunk of metal, I'm like, yeah, this is like a clunk of metal. I really liked how at the end she just explained, like, you may not think this is true, but this is the information, this is where I got this is where I got these facts, this is where I got this facts, you can look it up yourself, you know what I mean? So, The Story of More. It was a great book. I dug it. Number 3, what book catfished you? Was it a good or a bad thing? I was on a mission to find a book for my nephews that was empowering. So I Googled empowering books for black boys, and it came up with Sandiata. Alright, so this is about a young boy named Sandiata. He was born unable to speak or walk, and he had all types of issues for the first 10 years of his life. People was making fun of him, and he was finally sent away by a rival queen who wanted her son to, of course, take the throne. And while Sandiata was gone, horrible things happened to his family, which forced him to have to come back, defeat the intruder, and take his throne. He was the underdog, people didn't believe in him, people made fun of him, but at the end, he became king. Was it inspiring and empowering and everything that I thought it would be? Yes. It was a very, very cute book, and I think my nephews would love it. So why is it on my catfish? Well, because I wanted to get more books by this guy. And when I Googled him, this picture came up. So, I don't know. Was I catfished because I didn't know he was white? It's not his fault. Is it still a great book? Yeah. Is it as great of a book as I thought it was when I thought it was a black author? Number 4, does size really matter? Yeah, but I like all sizes, you know what I mean? I like to start my morning with baby steps, like little devotional reading, scriptures, you know what I mean, quotes. But once the day starts, I need something more. I like my books mid-size but powerful. But if I had to pick one, I'd pick shorter books, definitely. I would rather want more than wonder when the book is gonna be done. Number 5, name a book that was out of your league. On this one, I'm just gonna go back to The Story of More. Boom, boom, boom. I had to just take what I could out of it. And I had to read and research what she was researching to understand what she was even saying, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that was like an assignment. An enjoyable one though. Number 6, kiss, marry, kill. What book would you kiss? What book would you marry? What book would you kill? Definitely would pick Barracoon. Cause I loved Cujo. I love Zora Neale Hurston. I feel like they are my family. And so this isn't like a passionate kiss. This is that, oh baby, kiss me on the forehead type love. You know what I mean? That kind of love your papa give you. Not your papa or your grandma. Your mama? You know what I mean though? No. Aw, that's kind of sad. But anyways, yeah, this is who I'd kiss for sure. The book that I would marry is Let Me Love You by Alexandria House. The reason that I would marry this book is because it's urban lit. It has basically everything that I would want. It's a hood, sweet love story. It's empowering. It has a lot of black love in there. It was a sweet story, but it was super sexy. It has some nice sex. I will marry it because it has everything. I feel like I will always be entertained. I'll always have something to look up to, something to look forward to. The book that I would kill, I don't know, kill sounds so brutal. It's like, can I just put this book in an intervention program or something a little more subtle? I suggest that the book Subtweet does some community hours. Like maybe do some studying and retake the book test. Because I felt like there was hope in that book, but something just happened wrong. I was so excited to read Subtweet because of the beautiful cover, and in this day and age, social media is such an important subject, you know what I mean? I thought, oh, this is gonna be a good book, cause it wasn't. I couldn't really get into the characters. I couldn't even really get into their friendship. I didn't understand what was going on for the most part. It just wasn't my book. It wasn't my book. 7, the ex you just cannot let go of. Ethic. I can't let Ethic go. Ethic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got all the way to the end. I'm like, okay, I'm letting this relationship go. Then it gets all reinvented, and all of a sudden it's a butterfly. And I'm like, oh my God, how can I resist a butterfly? I'm addicted. Addicted. Name the book that is the bad girl or the bad boy on your bookshelf. Raven. She is the bad girl on my bookshelf. She bad, boy. Ooh. Morgan mama, you know she bad. She tries to get out of trouble, but she's drawn to it like a moth to a flame. She loves them bad boys, you know what I mean? And it takes her down this crazy road, crazy journey. This book, man, Raven, Moth to a Flame. It's the prequel of Ethic. Number 9, Friend Zoned. Name the book that you think will be a good read, but you're kind of into somebody else right now. A Drop of Midnight. I looked at this book and I was like, damn, you a sexy book cover. Wow. But I had to let him know that I'm looking for something more. I need a little more action in my relationship. And he wasn't bringing it. So, I'm on to another. But I will get back to it one day. I'm thinking, maybe. Alright, so number 10. Basically, this is the nosy part, and you're supposed to tag other people. But I heard that this was a very old tag, so I'm sure most of you guys have already done it before. But if you haven't, and it's interesting to you, you should do it. Alright? Alright, so yeah, you, maybe you, maybe you. Alright? Thanks for taking the time to watch. I appreciate y'all. Till next time, peoples.